Are you in love or is it a crush? Crushes tend to be very short and really only last for like a few weeks to maybe a couple months. And usually you'll feel this very intense feeling at the beginning and it'll fade very quickly as time progresses. Whether you get to know that person more or y'all don't really talk a whole lot and it just kind of disintegrates from there. Either way, it tends to be very quick to fade. Love usually develops over time and is actually a lot weaker of a feeling at the beginning, typically, than a crush would be. Love, by its definition, would be something that develops over time and is characterized by a deeper emotional connection rather than this intense feeling that more so connects to lust than anything. And oftentimes, it'll grow stronger as you share experiences with the individual and understand the individual more. As you learn more, as you spend more time together, you will begin to develop these feelings of an emotional connection, and that would be the beginning of love. A crush is often built on physical attraction and more so like the general infatuation with the individual, which you can kind of envision rather than what you're actually seeing. And oftentimes this leads to you kind of like idolizing the idea of the person or the idea of being with the person and focusing on their looks or like the thing that drew you in, but rather than like actually understanding the person and like seeking the person. Whereas love, you're gonna try to develop this genuine understanding and acceptance of the person as a whole individual, including the things that they might not like about themselves or whatever that case is. And love is going to be caring for the person as a whole, not just their appealing traits, not just their looks, not just this idolized version that you have inside of your head, not just this vision that you had and that you're connecting to be something that you want and that you desire. Rather, you're going to see the person as a whole and fall for them entirely, and it's going to be gradual. It's not going to be this immediate thing. Love at first sight is a very interesting thing in itself because yes, you can fall in love at first sight, no doubt, but most of the time it's just a crush, and I feel like most people get that kind of confused because commitment is going to be one of those things. If there's a lack of commitment, then it's clearly going to be a crush. It is nothing more than that. Because you might be interested in impressing the person at the beginning or enjoying the thrill of the attraction or the thrill of the chase rather than the actual relationship itself. Whereas love builds on commitment. It is a commitment to the relationship and a desire to be there and support the other person and to push for a long-term, long-lasting, passionate, and deep emotionally connected relationship. If you find yourself constantly consumed by thoughts and obsessive feelings surrounding this individual, then the chances are it is most likely a crush. If you find yourself overly obsessive in the early stages of a relationship, then the chances are it's more of a crush than anything. Oftentimes, when you think about your partner, they become a part of your life rather than the sole focus of your thoughts and the sole focus of your life. The goal is to find somebody to be by your side. The goal is to find somebody to go through things with and not go through things only focusing on. You are supposed to be yourself, and that person is supposed to make you a better part of yourself, and you're supposed to do that in return. It is not supposed to be this obsessive, possessive type of thing, and oftentimes crushes tend to be more obsessive and possessive because you want this thrill, you want this enjoyment, you want this idolized version. But of course, that isn't a reality because the way you're seeing things isn't the way that they actually are because you don't want to acknowledge that. You want to live in this false reality. Reality and idolization are two very separate things. Oftentimes, a crush involves seeing things through like these rose tinted glasses or however the phrase goes, where you focus on the best qualities whilst ignoring like the flaws. And love, you see the person for who they are. You see both their strengths and weaknesses and you accept them for that. And you help them grow through that. And you help them learn through that. And you help them learn to love both ends of that, strengths and weaknesses. And that is going to be then reciprocated. But a crush, those things are never going to be carried out or reciprocated because, again, idolization and reality are two separate things. So now would be the point where you got to sit back and think for a second. Is it love or is it a crush? And once you determine that, then you get to make the decision yourself. Where do you want to go from this? Because at the end of the day, we all live our own lives and we can all do what we want with it. But understanding the difference between the two is a very good thing to have in your life, and it's definitely worth exploring and understanding. So, yeah, that's basically the debate between crush and love. Um, Thanks for watching. and hopefully you have a good day. Bye.